Hey guys, welcome to beautiful British Columbia. That's where this company started, Kona. We've got their new Dew-E DL. It's a beautiful bike, one that comes in 4 frame sizes, and I was trying to figure out how to explain this bike, right? The company Kona, it's super authentic. These guys started in the mid 1980s. They launched their first e-bike in 2010. So 25, 30 years later, they get into e-bikes. It's 2021 right now. They've been doing this for a while, and this bike is beautiful. I mean, look at the integrated battery, which I've got out. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, show you the charger and everything. Keeps that weight low and center. We've got the Shimano E6100 mid-drive, quiet but very capable, 60 newton meters of torque. I reviewed the older Dew-E, which used the Bosch Active Line Plus motor. This one offers more torque, 60 newton meters versus 50. It has a higher RPM support, so if you're pedaling really fast, you shift down to a lower gear to climb a hill, the motor keeps up. It's not gonna kind of die out on you and struggle, and if that happens, your bike slows down, you need to shift down again. Well, the motor can't keep up, your bike shifts down. It's this feedback loop. So this motor is very capable. I love the stuff Bosch does, but this is also a very lightweight motor, 6.3 pounds. The battery here, about 6.5 pounds, 42.4 pounds on the size large frame. Again, 4 frame sizes from this company. Part of the reason it's so light, even though it has these aluminum alloy fenders and integrated lights and stuff, is because it's got this carbon fiber fork. But they didn't just give you a basic fork, they gave you one with 4 little bolts on it, so you can put some awesome pannier like support racks up here and turn this thing into kind of an urban commuter adventure bike. Now, it doesn't have suspension up front. They have another bike called the Splice that does. It's more of a hybrid. It's kind of like a hardtail with like minimal suspension up front. I like that. You know, it gives you some more comfort, but carbon fiber is known for dampening vibration, which is really great, and then just having a lighter weight bike that you can handle more efficiently, lift much more easily. This only comes in high step. Kona also has E-Coco, which I've reviewed, and it's kind of like a nice mixed D-frame. So it's like a mid-step, a lot more relaxed than this, even just looking at the geometry. So again, high step, you can hang this off the back of your car rack, lift it and shoulder it more easily if you need to cross an urban stream. I mean, I don't know. Some people could maybe go off on light trails and stuff, packed earth like we see here. And these tires are going to do okay. They're 650B, so that's 27.5, 47C. They're just a little bit wider. And you can see there's a little bit of tread on the side, so maybe that gives you some traction, but this is really designed, in my opinion, for more like asphalt paved surfaces, but it does give you some comfort. I was really impressed to see that they have thru-axles here, 12 millimeters. So normally you have a 9 millimeter axle with like a quick release skewer that goes through. So a lot smaller, right? A thru-axle like this, 12 millimeters, it gives you stiffness and strength, and it just keeps the wheel straighter so you're not gonna get zinging on those disc brakes. It just feels sturdier. I love that they've gone black with everything here. Black hub, black spokes, black rims, WTB. You see that brand on a lot of places here, including the saddle, but it is Kona branded. And look at that slime green matching some of the stickers and accents here on the bike. It's just, like I said, beautiful, beautiful bike. 12 millimeter through axle in the rear. Again, both of them, there's no quick release on this bike. So the seat clamp right here, and then down here, this is 6 millimeter. This is 4 millimeter to adjust that. You also need a 4 millimeter hex Allen key if you want to get the battery out. There's no key on this battery, and this is the charging port down here. So that's one of the trade-offs. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But then down here we have an adjustable Atron Velo kickstand with a nice big foot pad, so it's not sinking into the dirt here. Stays clear of the left crank arm, so you can pedal backwards or walk the bike backwards without getting like a pedal lock. But this uses a 4 millimeter star bolt, which I was really surprised about. That's like a security bolt. I don't feel like anyone's gonna come to the bike rack and mess with my bike, and yet as the owner, if I wanna make sure my bike is standing up straight or whatever, and I need to adjust the kickstand, I'm just gonna be really frustrated when I realize, oh, it's a star bolt. Like, why? Everything else is just a 4 or 6 millimeter hex bolt. So I don't know what the deal was, and probably Kona just like got this kickstand from Atron Velo, and they made the decision. 40 millimeter mounting pattern right here. It's very industry standard, so you could swap this out if you wanted. I like the kickstand. I was surprised. I was like, I don't know if I have that tool in my toolbox, so whatever. You can see the 160 millimeter hydraulic disc brake rotors pretty well from this side. Dual piston calipers, pretty standard. These aren't like big, super powerful, fast cooling, but Shimano does a really good job. And for kind of an urban bike like this, I think it's fine. And one of the benefits of a smaller rotor is that when you come to a bike rack, if you're going to lock this up, this is smaller. It's not as easy to bend or even collide with some of those like triangle stands, or, you know, a lot of times there's a tube that comes down. It just stays out of the way a little bit. So I appreciate that. Again, lots of utility here. We've got 2 bottle cage bosses, so you could use one for a folding lock or something. You could even do one of those like triangle frame bags on this because it's a high step frame. It's just got a higher standover height, right? So this frame is going to be rigid, easy to lift, just very high performance, but there are those trade-offs in terms of approachability. A lot of times I'm looking at e-bikes that are just more of a cruiser, more relaxed, that kind of thing, or maybe a slightly older demographic that's like, great, that like looks fun, it's efficient, potentially very fast, even though it's class 1, top speed 20 mile per hour, 32 kilometer per hour. This bike is a lot more active and sporty. It's almost like a road bike, even though it doesn't have the drop bars and stuff. Notice how the handlebars, they're not super wide. That's going to allow you to fit through doors or between cars more easily. I love that they got locking grips right here. The 2-finger brake levers, I mentioned, they're adjustable reach, so you can set that up for your hands, whether you're wearing gloves or maybe you got the small frame and you got small hands. Look at the stem here, 70 millimeters, only a 6-degree rise, so it's a lot flatter. Of course, you can raise it up by taking this 10mm spacer and putting it down here, so you bring it up and kind of get that as high as you can, so you're more upright body position, or you could go the opposite and flip it so it's down, and then you can stack the spacers on top. Lots that you can do with this depending on how aggressive you want to go, and if you're actually someone who's doing the road experience. These tires, they do offer a certain level of puncture protection based on what I've read on the Kona website. They don't have reflective sidewalls or anything, but they do have that nice brown, kind of old school, legit is what I think. When I see these, I'm like, that's cool. Like brands that I recognize from the mountain biking world, kind of a cool, stylish tire, one that's hopefully not going to get punctures as easily, but you can lower the tire pressure a little bit if you want to get that comfort for off-road riding. But the rest of the bike is like stiff and very high performance. 31.6mm seat post right there, 350 millimeters long. You could always swap that with a suspension post if you wanted, get a little bit of comfort that way, and the rest of the bike would still be very efficient, but that would take the, take the edge off of some of the bumps and stuff depending on where you ride. The other thing about this, let's get into the drivetrain. So up front, we got the Shimano chainring and everything. These are hollow spindle right there, so lighter, very nice crank arms and everything. By the way, these pedals, these are not stock. They were probably just slapped on. You can see they're mountain biking pedals. Here's a shot from City Cycles, the guys that set the bike up and help coordinate. You can see there's these nylon, just plastic platform. They do a pretty good job. And this bike here, the brown one, that's the Dew-E. It's not the DL. You can see the external battery. It doesn't have a carbon fiber fork. It doesn't have the extra bottle cage, and it has 9 gears instead of 10. Yeah, we got the chainring up front, and then we've got this 10-speed cassette. It's enormous. The spread 11 to 46 tooth. That's huge. And then Shimano Deore with the one-way clutch, so you can put this in the down position. It's going to be a little loose, so you can do some drivetrain maintenance, take the wheel off easily, and then put it in the up position, and then it kind of locks up so you don't get that chain bounce, which is a good thing. They don't have a slap guard right here. You can always get a neoprene or use like a clear plastic sticker across the top so you don't nick the frame. I don't see any nicks happening here, and whoever had this before me was like riding through the mud and dirt and stuff, so I guess it works pretty well. But that did come to mind. If you're in the highest gear down here, 11 tooth, the chain can get pretty close, and that's the high gear, so you're going fast. If you hit a bump, that chain can slap the chainstay. That's why they have those slap guards. So that's one little question mark or potential improvement in addition to the star key thing I mentioned before. And then the fenders are nice. They're pretty wide, like 55.5 millimeters. Aluminum alloys, a little bit heavier, but because they have additional support struts, they're not making a whole lot of noise. They're not going to rust if they get scratched, just like the rest of the frame, aside from the carbon fiber fork, which doesn't rust either. And I like that they've got these support strut clasps that don't let this metal tube like stick out, because that can scratch you. And some of their other bikes, the older Kona Dew that I checked out a while back, it actually did have those protruding things. They have the little rubber caps, and those get lost, and then you scratch yourself. It's just no fun. So good job. I feel like maybe they listened, or they just realized like, yeah, let's get some nicer, slightly upgrade the fenders, and that really paid off. We do have bosses back here as well for a rear rack. And the cool thing about this, it's kind of an open source bike. Aside from the battery and the drive motor up here, everything else, it's like you can really get creative with like what sort of front rack you want, what kind of main frame bags or bottle cages or whatever. And some of them, there's really big cup holder type things that you can actually stuff cargo into, and that's another really cool thing. It just gets my mind going. And then the rear rack, you can get a rack that supports up to 55 pounds. A lot of times I'm seeing e-bikes today where they come with a rack, but it's like a minimalist rack. I was looking at a Specialized bike the other day. It was the SL, the Como SL, and it didn't have a top platform, but the rack was kind of supporting the fenders, and it gave you like 40 pounds worth of cargo support. I mean, that's good. That's still a lot of weight that you can carry around with you, but it limits you. You can't put a child seat on it like you could with this. You can't put a trunk bag, and maybe the panniers you want are bigger ones or whatever. So this bike being open source like that is really cool. I appreciate it, and I feel like I can I understand maybe, or I can appreciate what these guys might have been thinking. I mean, Kona, again, it goes back so far. They have these fun names. They have this cool office down in Bellingham where they're kind of like a small company, but they actually have some volume and they have some respect and stuff. So I feel that. And it's the kind of company where people who work there are chill, and everyone takes a bike home and tries all the bikes and, you know, gives their feedback. And I feel like it's just polished in that way, in ways that a lot of people wouldn't appreciate or even notice at first. You look at this, and the price point on this bike, $38.99, so almost $4,000 US. That's expensive. It's $49.99 for Canadian, so it's like $1,000 more because of the currency exchange rate and stuff. It's paying a lot for a bike that doesn't come with a rack, but it feels like it comes with everything else. And for $30 or whatever, you get a really nice rack, and you just get that beautiful integrated design. So I'm going to talk about the motor and everything in just a minute, but I want to do another walk around and point out that everything here, all the accessories are black except for the Fender support struts, which is okay, I guess. They kind of blend in with the cassette back here. An 11-46, huge spread on this, so you do have a very capable low gear for climbing, for starting. The motor can support those high RPMs, so you can take full advantage of that. Really nice derailleur that's not going to go out of tune. It's going to shift smoothly. It's crisp. It's great. And we've got this magnet right here, the rear wheel speed sensor, and it senses pedal cadence and pedal torque. So you get a multi-sensor. You've got those awesome like Holotech spindle down there, lightweight, stiff. You hear that with the 12mm thru-axles. All this stuff, it really adds up to an excellent experience. Everything's internally routed. You can see the cables and stuff here for the headlight, and then the shifter cable and braking line. You can access those in the down tube right here. You can actually see the bolts coming through, and I guess those don't collide with the battery pack. I'm not seeing any marks on this or anything. I think it's well designed, but those are little things that I was noticing as I was going through the bike. Lots of potential. It's just a sportier bike. So keep doing the little walk around for you guys. It's been really exciting to see this bike and to feel like it's sort of blossoming in front of my eyes, because at first I was like, okay, it's just the Kona Dew. Instead of having a battery on top bolted right here, it's integrated. Great. Is it worth the price upgrade? And that's up to you, but I do think they've done a great job. So I'm gonna hit the battery next. Okay, so this is actually 6.7 pounds, and that's with this plastic cover. This is the bottom of the battery pack. It's 36 volts, 14 amp hours, 504 watt hours, which is pretty good for this generation of bikes. 500 watt hour battery pack. It's going to be fairly efficient on this drivetrain too, with shifting gears and having a more efficient motor back here. This is the charger. I do have some complaints about this. It's small, it's relatively lightweight and compact, weighs about 1.5 pounds. It's 1.8 amps compared to 2 amps on a lot of competing chargers, or even 3 or 4 amps now. So you're not going to fill the battery quite as fast. It might take 6 or 7 hours depending on how low you go. And then in terms of charging the battery itself, it's a little bit of an extra step. So you can charge the battery when it's on the bike right here, this little plug. There you go, which, it's an okay position It's low, but at least you can access it from both sides of the bike. Sometimes companies will put the charging port like over here on the left-hand side, and it's gonna collide with your crank arm and stuff. This isn't perfect. It'd be nice if it was like up higher, but hey, that's shortening the distance to the motor itself and fewer wires and lighter weight. So the thing is, look at this interface here. That's way too big. That's not the right interface. Actually, it's this little plug below. So Shimano gives you this extra thing here, this like adapter that you just have to keep track of. Okay, there's no leash. It doesn't connect to the charger in any way. It's just this like extra, fairly heavy, clunky piece of plastic and metal. And the reason you have that is to plug in here directly into the battery. So you need this to charge the battery when it's off the bike. And that would be important if you're someone who's commuting to work. So you get to work, there probably isn't like a plug at the bike rack anywhere nearby. And even if there was, you probably don't want to leave your bike charging and stuff because someone could trip over this or steal it. So great, you have to do several steps. You have to like unlock the battery using a 4mm Allen key. So there's no keyed core on this thing. You literally have to stick your Allen key into this little silver bolt right there, going through this hole. See where it says 4mm release? You have to like turn the front wheel and then get your Allen key up there and release it, and then it goes clunk to the first step, and then you have to reach in there with your finger and unlock it the second step to get it out. Very similar to Bosch Power Tube battery. And there's the silver release lever that I'm talking about. And to me, so by the way, this is the first like lock area, and then this is the secondary release. So it's a little bit more sturdy back here. They do have metal. It's not just something people can force off. They could pull on this plastic a little bit and maybe bend it or something. But to me, it's an inferior solution to what Bosch has developed with their Power Tube, because that one uses a locking core, and you could have ABIS keys, and you could use those keys to get a matching lock and all this other stuff. This one just uses an Allen key. So if you're parking this bike at a rack and someone knows about it, you know, it's a slim chance, but they could just literally get an Allen key and unlock it. So why doesn't that have the star bolt? You know, why do we have a star bolt over here on the kickstand? To me, this is like, and I don't feel like this is Kona's fault. And frankly, it's a worthy trade-off to have a down tube integrated battery and everything. People probably not going to mess with it and stuff. And hey, if you're worried, take it off the bike. Yes, it's a little bit inconvenient to get the thing up there, and I could see myself bumping this fender and scratching it, and that would be a bummer. But hey, at least you can take it off. 6.7 pounds. It's up at the office, ready to charge it. Oh, you need this extra adapter. Like, how annoying. You know, I wish that you could just charge it right here with this same interface. Like, why do they have to have that second one? So anyway, here's how that would look. It just plug right in here, and I actually want to do it, see if it, oh, bummer. Yeah, so unfortunately, the way this is set up, you've got this right angle thing on the top, and this is the side that it comes out. So you still do have some potential collision here with the wires and stuff. It's not perfect. Kona is not alone in this charging convenience complaint for me. And then you got to get that this little door doesn't actually fit back on perfectly. It's like, try not to force it, but when you pull on it, it kind of like gets locked in that up position, and then finally you push it back down. It's right at the bottom though, so water can like drain right into this. I don't know, I just feel like Shimano does, you know, Shimano derailleur, great job. Shimano brakes, you know, good job. And then the charger and the battery, yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance to me. And something like, you lose this, and then what do? You reach out to the company, they're out of stock. Oh great, so now I got to charge the battery on the bike. And in terms of battery care, to really make this thing last, to get the highest number of charge cycles possible, you want to keep the bike or the battery in a cool, dry location. You want to make sure it doesn't go too much below that like 20% fill. Ideally, you want to keep it about half full if you aren't using it, and that's how you maximize the lifespan of a lithium-ion battery pack. I don't know the price of replacement on this. I do like that it's just a standard black cover, so it's not like paint matched or anything. That means it's going to be cheaper and easier to replace. Hopefully Kona's using the same one on any of the other bikes that'll use this down tube battery pack, but I guess it would be a bummer. You want to make that last if you can. So there you go. Those are all my considerations about the battery. I'm going to go ahead and try to mount this with you right here. So kind of set it in to the bottom. There we go. Okay. lined it up. See, there's the first step right there. I got it in, and I could release it again with this little silver button like that. Just the fender does get in the way. You need to turn the bike sideways. There you go, all the way in, and there's your little release. So this is what it looks like once everything's back on the bike. Still very handsome, low center weight, all the stuff we talked about earlier. Now I think it's time to go through the display. So here we go. Battery's charged, it's on the bike, you're ready to get started. You have to press this power button way down here. So a lot of times it's kind of nice if you have a power button up here or maybe on the display. This button actually does not power the bike on. It's a mode button we'll get into for a second later. So 1, 2, 3 areas that you have to kind of interface with versus having everything on one controller. To me, that's, you know, it's not ideal, but here we go. So a light press does nothing. You have to hold it for a couple seconds. It beeps. You can turn that beep off, which is, I'm really thankful for that. Over here, we've got this, basically just 2 buttons, a top and a bottom, and they allow you to raise or lower assist, as well as do walk mode. So if I hold the bottom button for a second, it says walk, and then I release and hold it again, there we go. And walk mode is useful for those moments where maybe you do have a rack or you're going up some sort of steep area or something. You just don't want to ride the bike, but you also don't want to push 42 pounds. You want to have the bike push itself. So there you go, there's walk mode. I was hoping that there was some other way to hold the top button or something to get the lights to work, but no, that isn't a feature. You actually have to get into the menu over here. So again, power the bike on. There are 3 levels of assist. So if we go high, normal, eco, and then back to off. And if we power cycle it, see we're in normal right now. Turn the bike off. It comes to life pretty quickly. It goes on and off. You don't have to wait a bunch, you just listen to that beep. So we left it in high and it goes back to off. So every time you start, you kind of gotta press this button a couple times to get going. This is class 1, there's no throttle or anything, it's all pedal assist. So then over here with this little tiny button down here, that's really an important button. It gives you a lot of access. And I wish that was here or somewhere over here, because there are times when I'm riding where I wish I could change from current speed to see my distance, like the odometer. Range is really cool. Like as I change assist levels, it dynamically tells me, oh, okay, you've got a full battery on the lowest level assist eco. You can go 183 kilometers based on the last mile or so of riding. So it's pretty dynamic. Go up to normal, okay, 128 kilometers, high, 91 kilometers, and this will adjust dynamically as you ride. That is so cool. And just to think that like I'm riding and I have to like take my hand off the grip or stop to get to access to this is a bummer, missed opportunity. And then we've got trip time, and then average speed, max speed, and cadence is pretty cool too. So that's back to like high cadence support from this motor, Shimano E6100 clock. And then there's current speed. So there are so many menus here, and several of them are very interesting to me, and yet I have to, you know, it's just difficult to get to. And then there's this like secret menu here. So if I hold this button for a couple seconds, we get into the settings. You can clear the trip distance and stuff, set the clock, light. So again, I'm navigating over here and I have to click this to select it, and then you can turn the lights on or off. So they're on right now. 70 lux headlight, really nice. It's got that top cut off so you don't blind oncoming traffic. It's mounted to the arch of that fork, points where you steer, but it doesn't get in the way or create a busy mess up here. Excellent. Metal housing. It's got the side window cut out so people can see you from the side. Again, we don't have reflective sidewall stripes, just the lighter brown color here. This is an excellent light. Great job. It's Bush & Mueller. And then back here we got Bush & Mueller. This is the Micro or Mu, and it's just a single LED. I don't know if it's quite as visible. It's certainly not super bright, but it's mounted in a good location. It's not gonna get blocked by your panniers or a rack if you go that route. It's fun, it's cute, but for a bike that I see myself riding in the city, for having such a great headlight, like the rear light's like, meh, okay. So we're gonna leave that on and we can keep arrowing down. Beep, let's get in there and turn that thing off. Oh, so good. And then units, we can change those from kilometers to miles per hour. And I realize on the screen you're seeing this blinking. It's because of the LED readout here is flashing and it's interfering with like my camera capture rate. Language, font color, so you can invert. Right now it's a black background, but we could change it to be a white background. So it's just sort of higher contrast, but at night this can be almost blinding. So I prefer the other way. And then you can adjust the rear derailleur and shifting and display speed and other things, and then exit down here. So we're back. We've gone through pretty much everything. This is a smaller display. It's not removable. You can kind of adjust it, like in terms of the angle, so it's not glaring right up in your face. This is shiny plastic right there. And you know, if you're way up here, your head's here for riding, it's tiny. It's not super easy to see. It's minimalist. Shimano is more of like a purist bike company. They don't make any like speed pedal X stuff, motors and things. And their designs, you know, back to the charger and stuff, it feels like there are some limitations. So, you know, it is what it is. And I do feel like it's still an upgrade from the Bosch Active Line Plus, just in terms of weight and size and integration and the higher RPM support and higher torque. It is a good upgrade, as much as I complained about it. Okay, so we're out on the street. I've been riding around a little bit. I want to let you know I'm 5'9", about 135 pounds, and this large frame feels a little small to me, right? It's just a little tight. I do have the seat raised. I'd probably raise a little bit more. But if you're considering this bike and you're similar height to me, just know that it's a little compact, and you might want to go to the extra large and then just adjust appropriately for the other of those 4 sizes. The motor itself is very zippy. There is definitely noticeable noise component to it, and it doesn't have shift detection the way that the Bosch motors do. But again, it has those 3 signals: rear wheel speed, pedal cadence, pedal torque. So if you just ease off a little bit while you're shifting, you should be fine. And again, I consider this like a sportier, more advanced bike. Doesn't mean you have to be more experienced to appreciate it. It just means it offers more if you're someone who knows bikes and knows how to shift and wants something tight and quick. And it's a level up, definitely, for like a city bike like this. And again, urban, road, city, it hangs out in that space for me. Even with the tires, like I've done a little bit of off-road, but it's a stiffer frame, and I don't want to get too aggressive. So I'm in the highest level of assist right now. I'm just going to pedal through and shift some gears. So it responds pretty quickly, and it's dynamic. So if I pedal gently, it wasn't even starting because I wasn't applying enough torque. So that's good. It's not the kind of motor that surprises you, that kicks on unexpectedly and it kind of throws you off. And we are in the highest level of assist right now. So now I'm going to shift up a little bit because I'm kind of outrunning the motor, and we're almost, we'll get to 32 kilometers per hour pretty quickly. I mean, yeah. And now it's fading out. See, it just fades out. Now we're outpacing it. So you can easily outpace the motor on this bike. We're now going into a hill. I'm going to try to demonstrate the power, the climbing power. So I downshift a little bit to give the motor a mechanical advantage. And no problem. I mean, I'm not even in the lower gears, and I'm having no problem. Not having to stand up. I'm not stressing my knees out. But you can hear that motor hum. Can even accelerate up the hill. So yeah, that 60 Newton meters of torque is no joke. I really like this motor, just how compact and clean it is, and how powerful it can be in the higher levels of assist. So I'm going to take it down eco. It's weird because it almost sounds the same. I was expecting like maybe it would be a bit quieter. It's still giving me a lot of power if I apply myself because of that multi-sensor thing. Here's the bike doing the no hands thing. Feeling very stable, possibly because of the wider tires and just the geometry on this frame. It feels very stable. Getting a little bit of vibration when I brake using the front brake only, and maybe that's the carbon fiber fork just kind of like chattering a little bit as I apply the brake, but it stopped me just fine. No problem. Wow, the bike just accelerates so fast. Even though it tops out at 20, it feels fast. It feels nimble. and just, it's like a race car. Okay guys, you're connected to that 31.6 millimeter seat post, looking at my favorite part of the bike, which is the drivetrain. We've got a 38 tooth steel chainring with this plastic guard. It's enough to keep your pant leg from touching the chain a little bit, but I am wearing this neoprene kind of, what is this, leg shield thing? Yeah, and it's just Velcros onto my pant leg. This is not sponsored or anything. I bought this for myself because I review bikes all the time, and you know, my pants get like that dirty, greasy mark on them or get snagged. So I like that Kona's doing this. It's probably enough, but they're going lightweight and sporty here. They don't have a full chain cover. Back here we have 11 to 46 tooth cassette. I mean, that is very impressive. Huge spread, 10 gears. I'm used to seeing, you know, at the very lowest end, 14 to 28, and then up to like 11 to 32, maybe 11 to 36 or something, but you know, 46, that's incredible. So that's what that really big ring is. It's gonna help you climb, and I just feel like you have a lot of choices here to pedal at a wide range of speeds. I feel like this bike should be a speed pedelec, right? Like, it's here in Canada, that's not allowed really, but it would be a fun bike to ride at higher speed. It's so easy to get up to those higher speeds and maintain that comfortably. Easy to pass the 20 mile per hour, 32 kilometers per hour, even without motor support on this bike. And the frame and the fork and the brakes, everything works fine. So it's a fast, sporty bike that way. And I just feel like they've done an excellent job. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on, use the high, well actually I'll start out in eco and I'll really crank it so you can hear. And then I'm gonna arrow up to high so you can hear the motor really at full blast. So here we go, this is eco. Okay, we got up to, I think, 35 kilometers per hour right there, like less than a block. Real easy, fast, fun. And the multi-sensor torque sensor, 60 newton meters of torque. I mean, it's great. This motor is fun. So here we are in high. Let's do the same thing. Fantastic. I could definitely feel it kicking on harder at the start, and was able to get back up to about 35. I did stand up, just really putting myself into it. This time I'm going to pedal along, start and stop, and we'll see how quickly the motor starts and stops. I'm not going to press as hard, so maybe the motor will be quieter. It should be more of a medium assist, even though we're in high, based on my pedal pressure. Little brake test. It's a fun bike. I mean, you know, lifting it is easy. Like, this bike is just, it's just fun to ride around. I feel like it's quiet, like the fenders and everything. The motor makes more noise than I was expecting, but you know, it's not overkill that way. It's kind of standard. Okay, just took a hill and we were at 42, 43 kilometers per hour. Felt very stable, fast, just fun. Using the control pad here is very easy. Shifting is very easy. I do wish that, you know, I could change the readouts and navigate the display over here. I also feel like it would also benefit them. I mean, look at this. You got the motor way down there with the charging port, battery, and then you have like an extra interface just for the power button. Like, that's a lot to do. They had to customize the frame, add a plastic thing, add a button, put a wire in. Why not just have it on this, right? Or even here. At least then you'd only have two things. So this is my feedback for Shimano. Like, come on, guys. You guys are leaders in this space, and there's some very obvious, to me, opportunities to improve this. They're not deal killers, but it's a bit inconvenient, and it just puzzles me sometimes. I have respect for the company, and I hope they get to see this or hear this feedback and they can make some adjustments, because Kona had to really customize this frame, the interface for the motor, the battery down here, and then not having a lock for that battery. Like, come on. And then up here, this interface, doing extra cutouts and wiring just for that, like, unnecessary, right? You're making the like the manufacturer work so much harder, and me as a user work so much harder unnecessarily. So that's my feedback. Again, I do like this bike. It only comes in this one color, but to have 4 frame sizes and then to work with a company like Kona or to get one of their bikes, I have tremendous respect for them. I really do like this bike, but I do think it's kind of like a niche consumer who would get this and really appreciate it. I might just go for the standard Dew-E, the one with the external battery, because it is simpler, and at least that one, I think it kind of locks to the frame. And it's you know, you're saving like $1,000 or something just because the frame doesn't have to be quite so custom, but then it doesn't look quite as beautiful as this either. So anyway, for the full written review on this, I'll see you guys back at ElectricBikeReview.com. I've measured everything, the length, the wheelbase, the height, the weight, all that stuff by hand, as I do, to try to give you the best insights possible. Ride safe out there, have fun. I've also got a comparison tool at the site so you can compare this and you can chat in the forums. If I got something wrong, let me know here in the comments on YouTube or wherever you're seeing this. I do read these, I do listen, and I'm giving this bike a lot of respect, and I'm being critical. I'm being pretty like detailed in how I do this because I respect Kona. I know that they look at all the parts of this bike, and I'm also trying to send that message to Shimano. So love you guys, ride safe, and we'll see you on the next one.